Hey everybody, it's Lane. I'm back with Crafty Life Mom. We are making some Christmas gnomes today or tonight. So this is this is a live or a DIY that I have created before. I haven't done it live, but I've also been asked to make gnomes or show how to make gnomes. They're a very, very popular thing. People love to put them around their house, especially at Christmas time and in their homes for all holidays. So I'm excited to kind of show how to make an easy DIY gnome. Now you can do this a lot of different ways. You can actually do it sewing part of your gnome parts and pieces together. Hi Crystal, thanks for sprinkling, I appreciate it. Hi April. And so anyway, there's a lot of ways you can do a gnome. You can put arms and legs, you can put feet, you can put no feet, no arms, you can sew, you can do hot glue. There's a lot of ways. So I'm gonna do hot glue. We're not gonna sew, but I am gonna show you some ways to do it with and without feet, okay? And I think it's really fun. You guys can do this using probably a lot of items you may have around if you're a crafter. If you're not a crafter, you know, on the fly, like, or if you don't have a stash of crafting things like me, then you might have to go and buy a couple of things. But most of the things are inexpensive, and you can always make stuff too. Hey Sandy, let's see. Hey Amanda, you love my shirt. Thank you. I made this shirt last year. It is heat transfer vinyl, buffalo check, and this shirt is kind of just like, I'm in my PJ pants, y'all. I am just relaxing tonight and crafting with you. So that's what you're gonna get. Hope that's all right. So yeah, we're gonna make some Christmas gnomes. Now, short list of items that you need, okay? If you've never made a gnome before and you want to make a gnome because they're super cute, and you've seen them in the stores, but you haven't quite bought it into it, or you're not, whatever. You're gonna need a sock. A sock is your body of your gnome. You're gonna need some kind of fur or something fuzzy that represents your beard, right? Because every gnome is gonna need a beard. That's like the whole thing of it. Something to create a hat, so either another sock or, and preferably like a different pattern, okay? And you're going to need something for the nose. That's the basics of a gnome. And so I'm gonna show you that part first, and then I'm gonna go into like how you can make it extra. You can add to it, you can put your own spin on it, you can give it accessories, arms, feet, and anything from there. But a basic like sock DIY gnome, here, sorry, I got a notification. Okay, there we are. Sorry guys, okay. So for your basic sock DIY no-sew gnome, all you need is, like I said, a pair of socks. Now, I'm gonna show you pretty much all my supplies that I got from Walmart. But you can, actually, this is what I got from Walmart last night, knowing that I was gonna make a gnome tonight. I picked up this pair of 3 packs of socks, okay? I don't even know what size I got. It just says women's tall sock, 3-pack. They were randomly somewhere in the store, like they're not where you would find the socks. But this is the MUK Luke's brand, I don't know. Somebody had like decided they didn't want them, and I saw it and I said, oh, I need those because I liked the color, okay? So this was like a light gray and a dark gray, and then there's like a pink pair in the middle. And so for my gnome, I just liked the color and the texture of the sock of this light gray, which is super cute. And so I knew that I could use that or the dark one. Now, some people actually sew like using felt, or you can actually hot glue with felt a body, okay? But a sock is way easier, so I knew I liked the dark gray and the light gray. This pink pair, this might be a cute Valentine's gnome, or if you do like a pink vibe Christmas, you could totally use this pink sock, but I'm gonna keep this pair for myself to wear with like my real boots. So it was a win for me to spend a few more dollars to get a 3-pack, But guys, the Dollar Tree sells socks for $1. So you could probably find some thicker socks there. If you want to go that method and keep it even cheaper, okay? I like the tall socks though, because I like to kind of like see how the body shapes and forms when we're making a gnome. Sometimes it gets a little fat, sometimes it gets real tall and like skinny, kind of like a log. And so each little gnome, when you make them, they kind of take on their own little personality, okay? So I have my basic socks here. You probably can go get a pair out of your drawer. Then I got fun socks, okay? So Christmas stuff is out. All the like stocking stuffers and all those things like at Walmart. And so I just got these like aloe infused socks. These were like less than $3 a pair. Super cute. These make great hats for your gnome, okay? Because he's got to have a gnome. So we're going to use one of these for our socks gnome. And then you might have to go, if your Walmart doesn't have like fur fabric or whatever, you may have to venture to like a Joann's craft store or something like that to find some fur, okay? So you need like your long kind of fur. I have pieces left over from, like this one's got like a V in it, because sometimes when you make a gnome, you put the V and then you put it you put it around the beard. So I have that piece left over. I have this tan color left over, and then I have like this ivory cream color, which is really pretty. And so this is just some fur that I bought from the last time I made gnomes. So that's what we're going to start with. Now I have some extra things here on my table, but I'm going to do the basic gnome first, and then we're going to add all the goodies. So, oh, and you need something for the nose, right? So I have some wood beads in my stash. You can make them out of Play-Doh. You can make them out of clay. I just have these wooden beads. So that's what I'm going to use for my nose. You can pick those up pretty much anywhere. Like Walmart, I think, has wooden beads. Might not be the right size you're looking for, so the craft store would definitely have them. I think my package actually came from Hobby Lobby, and I got like a ton of them. It's a wooden bead that only has like a hole on one side. Or you might be able to find some maybe at the hardware store where like the wooden dowels are. I don't know. So let's go ahead and get started. You're gonna also need, I know I should have said that, I keep adding stuff to the list. You're gonna also need some rice, or you could do sand, but I wouldn't do sand. I'm gonna go with rice. So I think other people have done different things like paper, and they put things down in the bottom to like, maybe like a marble or something, or a stone to kind of give it a weight. I personally like to do the rice. Now, I've also seen too where people do the rice and then they fill the rest with batting, and I could show you that. I could actually show you that. So, Casey, will you grab me the batting from the garage? It's where I keep it. I forgot to bring it in. So I will do it with that. So we're gonna need some rice in the bottom, and I'm gonna put a good deal in this one. We'll see if he gets the batting. I don't know if he heard me. But, so anyway, I just have this little scooper in my container. This is brown rice. I'm the only one that eats it in my family. Everyone else likes the like white jasmine rice. What kind of rice do you guys like? So I can't eat it faster before it goes out of, what is it, date or whatever. So I don't mind using my big bag of brown rice in this container for my gnomes, since I've been making a lot this year. Okay, so I probably have, I don't know what that is, half a cup in my sock, and I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of like give it a platform shape, just to kind of see like how wide this little gnome guy is going to stretch to. And no, we are not going to use the whole sock. I mean, you totally could, but my goal is to kind of get it stuffed at least to the heel and go from there, and then I'll show you what I mean. But I want to give this a little bit more weight, so let me go ahead and add more to my sock. Let's see, and let me say hey to some of you who are joining. So let's see. Hey Betsy, hey Melody, hey is it Denise? Lynn, I need glasses, I think. Is it Lynette or Lynn? Hello, I hope I didn't butcher that. Let's see, hello Heather. It's out in, so he's getting my fill for me. It's the polyfill bag. It's like the big one. It's like over there where the other heat press is. We have a heat press in our garage. You know, because I have kids. I do have my pink one though, my Stalls one right over here. And I love that one because it's so quick and easy to use and it's super cute and I trust it. Okay, so let me get that down in there. Okay, so now I'm probably up to about, well, let me show you, 3/4 of a cup. You guys, I'm not really good at measuring. Okay, hello, let's see, hello Melody. Georgia, hello. You guys tell me where you're from, if you're new or if you've been a past person that's come to watch me craft. I know I haven't crafted in a while, but this week I'm trying to get like all my last minute like decorating type crafts done. And then I have some fun things to share like leading up to the days of the holidays. And then I take a break and I start planning what I'm going to create for next year. All in the month of January. Yay, he found it. Okay, so I have, this is the polyfill. This one's more like a, like for a quilt, but we can use this one too. It's like a pull apart one. You know what? I think I have it over here. You went to the garage for no reason. It's over here behind my table. So sorry about that. Let me grab it just so I can show you guys. If you don't want to use food, like rice, to fill your gnome, you just need you a big old bag of this polyfill. And I have made, let's see, for the fall season, I think I made like 6 or 7 gnomes. And you can see clearly here, I have barely gotten into this bag. So for the rest of our little gnomey guy, we're gonna fill him up with some polyfill. And I don't know how much I'm gonna need, but we are just gonna see where we go with it. So, hey Lisa, how are you? Long time no chat. Sharon, hey Sharon, what's up? We're making a gnome tonight, if you're just joining me. A DIY sock gnome, no sewing, and, huh? No, different one. He thought it was someone who had a birthday, so happy birthday, but different person. And let's see. We're just stuffing our little gnomey guy. Look, he's kind of looking lumpy, right? Just, it looks like a sock. That's what it's gonna look like. All right, so, hey Jessica. Let's go ahead and I'm pushing down this batting. You can see how much I've put in there so far, and that's about where I'm at. I want them to be a little bit taller than this. You can always do short, but I kind of like it to be taller. And then if I want it to end up shorter and kind of more dumpy, you can kind of like shape it and roll your gnome. But the rice is down in the bottom, you know, helps it to kind of stand. And then that way you can kind of shape the batting, okay? So this right now, let me see how he's looking. This little gnomey guy, he is, let me grab my ruler, about, just so you guys know at home, he's like right at 5.5, 6 inches. Not that tall. So I'm gonna put a little bit more just so, you know, I get a little more height. And this is just like another handful. But you saw how much batting I put out here. And you can really shove a lot down in there. And you kind of want to. And like I said, a bag of that polyfill will last you a whole year of gnomes for every holiday. So if gnomes are going to be your thing, you know, I know a lot of makers that make gnomes and they sell them and stuff, and people are just like, you know, loving the gnome theme. And it's been around for a few years, but it's not going anywhere, to my knowledge anyway. It's a popular little thing. All right, so the more you push down, you see the fatter he kind of gets. And then from there, you can kind of like roll it out like this, just to kind of give it that, you know, shape, kind of like you're fluffing your pillows, whatever, and then use the rice to kind of, you know, get it to stand, because that's what you want. You want it to stand on its own and not be too lumpy. Maybe you want it lumpy, I don't know. So now we're pushing into like almost 7 inches. So now we're good, okay? So I'm gonna put that rice away, and you can use twine, string, whatever This is what I have to tie it off. You can use a twisty tie. You can use whatever you got. Just some string will work. I just have this twine on hand because it's cheap and you get so much from the Dollar Tree for $1. It's just like, why not? So, okay, so I got, I don't know, about 20 inches of my twine here. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a simple knot with it. And I'm gonna do it really tight. Let me push this down. Just as tight as I can. And then, let me cut this off. A lot here, and then I'm just gonna tie my knot on it to secure it. Now, once you have that, this is your good base for your gnome guy, okay? And you're gonna cut the rest of your sock top off. So this you can use later, maybe for like another hat, but it's now 2 holes, so it's not gonna make another gnome unless you sew up one end again and start over. But keep this because you can, this is the body of your gnome. So now you can make these like arms if you want to, and it's like the same sweater or the same shirt look of the gnome. So just keep that in mind. Don't toss it just yet. All right, so at this point now you're gonna look at where you wanna, you know, what side of your sock is like your front versus your back. And believe me, when you're making one, you think it's gonna be the same all the way around. It's not, it's usually different. So find the spot that you think is, you know, more like a face or a front of a body. And so like mine kind of protrudes out here and then it slenders down. And so I'm gonna go with that kind of like a face and a body. It's a little more flat here. So you just kind of have to pick where you think it would look best. And then also like kind of pay attention to your top here too, because you know, this is gonna be the hat head. So you kind of wanna make sure that it's good and secure. So for our hat, our beard, and our nose, those 3 kind of work together. The placement of those work together. So you need to have your nose handy. You need to have what's gonna be your hat. I think I'm gonna go with the green polka dot sock for my hat. And I'm just gonna use one of these, and look, it's shredding, of course. Walmart quality here. Okay, so here we go. Let me get the tag out. I'm glad I wasn't wearing that. This one has like this long string. Okay, and so a couple of ways you can do this. You can take a piece of felt, roll it into a cone, and make that the hat where it kind of stands. You can do that. And I actually have, just to show you guys that, I have some felt here. If I wanted to, I could roll this into like a cone, okay? And we could put this on our little guy, and I could do it like this and tip it back, right? I've done that before. That is a typical, you guys see that? Like gnome shape. And it stands tall. You could put a little pom-pom on there if you want to. That's one of the easiest ways. Felt is very cheap. It's even cheaper than the $3 socks. But I kind of want to do something different. I've seen where the little toe, see here, is white. I want to take some of my batting, just a little handful of it. I'm going to ball it up, and I'm going to put it in this sock. Now this is the hat sock. I'm going to put it where that little toe is, and then I'm going to tie my sock into a knot at the toe so that this is like a pom-pom on the head, okay? I've never done this before, but this is what I have in my head to do. And I just want to make sure that my knot is kind of like super close to the edge there and tight. You guys kind of know maybe where I'm going with it. You've seen the gnomes that kind of have that. I want the knot to be tight so that the pom-pom is like a true little pom-pom. So we just kind of have to kind of mess around with it. But there, that's kind of like what I'm going for. And so now this little sock, there's the heel, is going to be his hat. I want this heel to be in the back. So like I said, I'm going to find my front, and then I'm stretching my sock here to get my shape, okay? So no gluing or sewing yet. And now, because I have, that's the heel, I'm going to tuck that in on my hat And I could probably put a droplet of glue there. But here we go. Look how cute this looks so far, right? And we don't even have a face or beard yet. So this is where I'm going with that. Now let's think about the beard. The beard we're gonna have to put here and then take the sock off and put our sock back on. But I have this cream color, which is a little bit different than the white and the gray. I kind of want a contrast. I don't want the white. I think that might be too perfect, if you know what I mean, like with the look of that. What do you guys think? Tell me quickly in the comments what color beard. So I have the cream, I have the white, or I could do something like this and make it more like a boy little gnome, like a little hairy man gnome. I kind of like this because I think it could almost be girly with the white for some reason. I don't know why. Or I have my tan, which I just don't feel like this color goes too well with the Christmas colors. I feel like this is more like a fall color, or I don't know, maybe a springtime gnome. You could do any fur technically. Someone says white, someone says cream. So we need like another vote, guys. I kind of am digging the cream for it, but that's just me. Let's see, I don't know, and maybe it's just not clear on TV, or TV, I say TV, but you know what I mean, Facebook. Okay, so the cream does look really good with the gray. Let me show the side. You guys think the white. I just don't want it to be too matchy. Oh, Miss Daisy, hello, Miss Daisy. You guys, that's my friend. She's another vote for white and another vote for cream. Okay, so I'm gonna go with cream, don't hate me, because it's already cut. And I'm like all about the easy tonight. You guys really think the white, huh? Okay, let me go with the cream, and I'm gonna tell you why, because I just got an idea by just doing that right there, that motion, that's just how they come to me. We're gonna add a little white fur trim. I do have this little skinny piece of white. I could cut this in half, so like, this is about 2 inches. I could cut it to like 1 inch or 1/2 inch, and we could line his hat. Look at me, okay? So the beard probably needs to be tan, right? Do you guys agree? What do you think? Yes? Or no on the fur cuff? I mean, it's adorable. Might need to go back to this guy then. I don't know. See, matching beards and things are so rough when it comes to gnome making. So what do you think now? Should we do the cream with the white cuff? No cuff? What do you guys think? Hey, Amanda, how are you? Miss you. All right, so too many beard choices, right? You guys are probably like, just pick one already. All right. I think we're gonna do, I'm gonna go with, let me cut this down and just kind of line it up. I don't know why it's V'd already. I did something in my past with that. And so when you cut fur too, guys, just know it's gonna be a little messy. There is some like tricks to cutting fur where it doesn't have like an instant shed on you. I've tried them, it still sheds for me. So, all right, so you like the brown one with the white cuff. I kind of do too, Kathy, so maybe you're gonna be the winner. All right, so here's my brownish, it has gray tones in it, so maybe that's why I'm digging it, because the sock, the body is gray. So what I'm gonna do is cut this little piece. So look at the back of this. This is how you tell the shape. This is the tan fur that I have. You see how it's kind of got this left little side going over here? I kind of want to even it up just to start with a cool rectangle shape. And then I'm going to cut from the back, and I'm just going to cut like a little half moon in my top here. Okay, and then I'm just going to take the extra fur away from it so it doesn't shed too much more than it already is. And then I'm pulling my sock off, and I'm holding where I've pulled it down to, okay? And I want to make sure that from this point up, I'm not putting the beard, but I at least want to go that high, okay? Maybe even a little bit higher. So I just kind of want to eyeball where that spot is. I mean, you could put like a little marker on there if you don't trust yourself. But at that point, that's how high you at least want to go. And then on the back of my beard, I'm just cutting the corners of the fabric, not so much the fur, to kind of just give it that beardly shape, that almost like to a point in the middle shape. You can totally leave it like long across, or you can cut this at an angle. I like to do that at the end after he has his nose and everything and give it the haircut, just so I'm sure that I don't want that fur there, okay? So for right now, I'm just going to put some glue at the top of my little beard and then about an inch down. And then I'm going to just double check where my spot is, and I'm going to put my fur there, okay? And I'm just going to glue them on, get it on there. And then what I like to start to do at this point is pull those top little pieces to the side like that. And it almost gives it that like instant mustache look. Because somewhere in there in that middle, I'm going to put that nose, okay? And I like to glue my nose down first and then pull my hat to that nose, okay? So that's why I don't glue the hat down first, but I like to put it on just to kind of gauge my placement. All right, so now I'm looking for my little nose, and there it is. And remember, I said you wanted to go at least as high, so make sure you do the same where on the nose you go high enough to where the hat can come down to it. You don't want to go too low. When you don't have your hat on, you want your person is like wanting to, I personally anyway, want to come down with it. You don't want to do that. Try to go a little higher than what you're gauging just so you know you're covered, okay? It's always better to cover more nose than it is to show too much nose and it look like a bead. So I'm gonna just put my little nose there into place and push down, and then I'm going to put glue and push into the fur with it. I got a little glue string there, so that it just like gets in there really good. You kind of want it into the face. You know, you don't want it obvious. You want it to look more, you know, professional or whatever. Okay, is that a battery glue gun? Yes, Kathy. This is the Ryobi cordless glue gun. It's battery operated, just like the batteries are for your tools. This is my favorite thing. It is not that heavy when the battery is attached to it. I do wish Ryobi came out with like a finer point tip that you could interchange it with, because there are some craft glue guns that are cordless on the market that have the finer tips. But this bad boy, the battery lasts forever. Well, I say forever. I craft a lot, so it's not forever for me. But I keep a battery charger back here in my my dream box, and I always plug in my next battery. I try to remember to do that daily. So I always have one, and then my glue gun lives in here. But my husband uses these tools, and what's great about it is we kind of like swap batteries around. So I always have one charging those. So, all right, let's get back to our gnome though. Okay, so here is my little guy. Whoop, he just fell. La-da-da-da, okay? He needs some more glue. His nose is a little wiggly. So I'm gonna put some more up here just to kind of hold it. Okay, so now, let me see if I can do this in reverse. I don't know if I can. His nose is hanging though a little bit. You guys see that? Like I try to put it back and it kind of drops down. So that's my life, I guess. All right, so here we go. We're gonna put our sock back on, and now or our hat, and we're gonna secure it into place. And look, like this is the top. I'm pretty much going all the way to that with my little top here, okay? And at this point, it's all about placement. We wanna make sure that we get this. We're not so worried about the little hat and the bobber yet, but we're wanting this little hat to come down on this nose a little bit, okay? And so remember, we're gonna add some fur trim to it, but this is where at this point, I'm going to put a little bit glue on my nose on the very tip top, and I'm going to take my hat and I'm going to secure it to my nose. And you guys see how I'm kind of like rounding around it just to kind of keep that in place. And then I'm going to flip straight to the back. And my sock is wanting to roll on me, so I'm going to roll it down. I'm gonna pull back and I'm gonna put like a line of glue down like the back where the spine is and make sure my sock covers that entire line. So we're just gonna put that into place there, see? Kind of like how I did that. Now I go right and left and I'm doing the same thing. I'm putting some glue to hold my sock down on the right. Same thing on the left. We're keeping it in place. Now, we may go back and add little arms to this guy, but for right now, we need those 4 spots contained down, okay? So now he's looking like a pretty cool little gnome. I mean, you could stop at this point if you want to. And he'd be a great little guy on a shelf. His beard kind of grazes the table there. And, I mean, you could totally like, you know, give this guy a little haircut maybe, a little trim. Give him some little bit of, let me get my thing out of the way so you guys can kind of see. Give him, you know, some personality. What do you guys think so far? Do you like him? And like you could totally glue this little hat into place, but I kind of like how, you know, it's got like personality and flip-flops around. I still like to like keep that heel of my sock like tipped over a little bit, or it's like tucked in. But this guy is so cute, and I love the polka dots, which they kind of look like ovals now. I love the polka dots of the sock, right? Too cute. So this, if you've just joined, this is a sock from Walmart with another sock from Walmart, a bead, and some fur, little bit of batting. But you guys, if you don't have this, like, or if you don't want to go buy it, and you have an old pillow, I know some of you have an old pillow that is probably like lost its shape, you know, you're probably not even in love with it. Cut that thing up and pull the batting out of that and use that, you know? Like make it as simple and easy as you want to. Just use an old pillow. Or you probably have like a guest pillow and you don't, you know, maybe you have some guests coming soon, but you know, one less pillow, not gonna hurt anybody. So use the batting from that. And then you just need the fur, right? Okay, so who thinks we should give this guy some arms? Anybody? Like raise your hand. Did you keep the fur square? I did, I kept it square. Do you think I should angle him up, give him a little haircut? We could totally do that. Just to do that, I kind of cut it from the back again, just cutting the material, trying to cut the material, right? So here, let me show you. See how I cut the material? So I just cut it at an angle. Now, of course, some of this is gonna fall with it. And then from here, we can do like a shaped trim. I try not to cut too perfect because I'm not a hairdresser. I can't really do that because I don't really want it to lose, it's like, I don't know what you call that, like its true shape. So when I cut it, I'm trying to just cut like only the backing material, and then whatever falls out from the fur falls out from the fur. I hope I'm making sense when I describe that because it's kind of hard to explain what you're doing. But I'll flip it around here and I'll show you. My back doesn't look pretty perfect anymore. It's not really a true square. It's kind of like angled in bits, okay? And so this one I already cut a little too, you can see it's a little too perfect of a cut. You see that? Versus like this side. And then here's my underneath. So it's kind of like the start of a trapezoid, okay? I could probably angle it more. I think it's just totally a preference. But from my experience with working with fur, it curls in anyways, like naturally, like the fabric does of it. So it kind of will give you that pointy look. And you don't have to give them the mustache. You can kind of keep it like down in front, you know, like combed in front. Totally up to you. All right. You know what? We forgot to add the fur on the hat. So let's give him a cuff on his hat. I'm gonna cut this little piece I had just in half, nothing fancy. I'm gonna trim this one side that's a little longer than the other side, just to keep it more Santa hat looking than I am going with beard fur looking, right? And I'm just gonna do the same thing on this piece. Just kind of trim. I don't want it to look like a beard went sideways. And then I think to add it, I'm gonna go up and down. Let's see, I don't even know if I have enough to add all the way. Let me just measure. Okay, it's gonna be close. So, here's what I'm gonna do. I have some embellishments that I'm going to add. My mom's texting me, hello Mom. I'm going to add some embellishments. You could totally do something different, but I'm gonna do it off to the side when I attach the fur to this, make the cuff. And then like add a doodad or whatever you wanna call it to cover my seam. Does that make sense? Maybe? I guess I could go from the middle end. I don't know. We'll do it and see how we look. So I'm just gonna put a bead here of hot glue. Uh-oh, and my battery is already dying because this is one I pulled from my husband's little workshop area and it must not have been charged. So there's that. Yeah, look, my glue didn't even stick. So let's see, maybe my other one is charged. So I think he comes in and takes my batteries. I'm gonna put it back on the charger. Yeah, so let's see, it's got some of a charge, so we'll get some glue out of that. Need that heat. Okay. And now let's add the fur here. Let me get that down. My little guy right there. You could totally girly this up too and put like a bow. You could use yarn and braid like 2 braids out of the sides of your gnome. You know, it doesn't have to have a beard. You give it clothes in the middle, all of those good little things. Make it, you know, this one is a little weird corner, so I'm gonna cut that off and then we'll just glue it down into place here. My fur. Okay, I think I'm gonna get away with a seam, not showing too much. So what do you guys think? I put the, oh, that one piece where it didn't dry too well. All right, so what do we think of my little guy here? Now with the fuzzy little cuff. We like? Is it super cute? I think it's adorable. All right, so if you want to add arms, you totally can. A lot of times I like to add, using the cuff, especially the top of the sock. You see how it has like the curly edge, which makes for like a cuff on an actual sleeve of a shirt. So just to do that, I'm gonna cut my little sock up the center here, just wherever. And then what I like to do is take a pipe cleaner, okay? And I'm just gonna run some hot glue on the inside of my cut sock, okay? Just real long, bead of glue, line of glue, whatever. And I'm going to put my pipe cleaner with a little tiny smidge of it sticking out, okay? Not too much. And I'm just gonna lay that pipe cleaner into the glue. The reason I do a pipe cleaner is because I want my arms to be bendable and stay. So a pipe cleaner is perfect because it's wire, obviously, so that's what I do. And then I kind of roll it in. I got fuzz everywhere, guys. I roll it in, and sometimes the glue like holds and sometimes it doesn't, but I'm gonna put another bead of glue right there, halfway in on the pipe cleaner, halfway into my sweater or my sock, and I'm gonna roll it again. And I use the long end. Can you guys see? I use the long end that's sticking off to help me kind of roll so I don't burn. And I just kind of push it down in there like that, and then I kind of shape it back to a cylinder shape. Okay, and that just kind of gives me a little arm for my gnome. And then I go back, I cut really close to that glue seam. Trying to do it straight. Like I said, you could easily sew this if you want to be fancy. You don't have to. I'm going to glue a little bit more here where it didn't quite roll. Just kind of get that wrapped in. Okay, pinched, whatever. Try not to burn your fingers. And then from here, I'm using, I have some little tan. You see that? Let me see if I can hold up a few. I have some tan little pom-poms. Oh, I dropped one. Like that. Oh, there went another one. And I'm going to glue that right on the edge. So I'm just going to pinch it, put a little glue, and put it right on the edge of that sweater. And there's my little hand of my Gnomey guy, right? See that? See if I can get it without wiggling. Okay. Now at this point, that's one. I still got to do a second one. So, same concept. Line of glue, pipe cleaner, and this is not the straightest pipe cleaner in all the land, so that's fine, totally fine. Lay it down, more glue. Can never have enough, right? Hot glue it is. And just roll with it. Just roll with it, okay? Rolling again, rolling, rolling, rolling. This is why I like to use the same sock. Now, I have some pretty Christmas fabric out here. I'm going to cut that little tail. Totally could do that. Totally. And it would be super cute sticking out like some polka dots. Just show you that. I have this. This would make a cute little sleeve coming out like his little hands. I kind of like to use the fabrics for the girl looking gnomes and keep with the same sweater of the boy gnomes, but you know, it's whatever you want. Okay, so at this point, I'm just gonna cut off my extra from, oh, I need to roll this one more time. Sorry, guys. I had my hand, I got a little ahead of myself. Let me get my another glue stick. Okay. Get that little arm in there. Rolling, rolling, let it dry. Cut. Cut my extra off. All right, get my little hand. I gotta get that glued in there. This little edge didn't quite glue, did it? Okay, let's do that and get that pitched in there. And get my little hand guy in there. All right, this one's got some fuzz going on. So just want that to dry. Okay. So there we go. I got my two little arms with some pom-pom hands. You guys see that? Ta-da. All right, so now to add it, we're just gonna hot glue it into place, and then we're gonna give him an accessory or something to hold. All right, so we are going to take this. Now, what I like to do is pay attention to the seam part. This is a rough cut edged part, okay? So I don't really wanna show that part. I wanna make sure that's like on the sides that go down. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna lay him on his side. I am going to find where the front of my gnome's little arms would come, and I'm going to push it up into place. So it's going like up into that hat, okay? And I'm going to basically shoot some glue up in there, okay? Just to secure that down into place. And then if you need to, because you've got that pipe cleaner in there, you can totally twist it, okay? So there he is with one little arm. You kind of see that? It's kind of like low under his beard. You know, we want it to kind of be long, but not too long. Nothing crazy. And then we're gonna do the other one the same way. Just find the little opening. Let's see if I can find it on this one, okay? And you're gonna just shoot it up in there, shoot some glue, which this one I kind of glued right where I wanted it to be, so I gotta kind of tear back a little bit on that, okay? Get that arm up in there as much as I can without it looking obvious. That's for sure the key. Now, before you glue, check your arms to make sure they're the same length. You don't want one looking longer or lankier than the other, okay? You kind of want to make sure, pull your fur out of the way, that you get it in there high enough to be the same length before you kind of like shoot that glue up in there and secure it in for life, right? So, same deal there, okay. So, and then twist, and then you guys see I have my two little arms, and because it's a pipe cleaner in there, I can kind of shape them to be rounded. I call them like the ballet arms, you know, like a ballerina would be like boop, 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 right? So that's what I do with mine. I give them the ballet arms, okay? And then from here, I kind of like fix the little fur to kind of lay back down around it so it looks a little more natural, not so weird, right? Okay, kind of see his shape. And now we're gonna give him an accessory. And I have two for you guys to pick. I actually have three, but I made a while back around the fall time. Let me just lift my little thing here. In the fall, I made some clay coffee cocoa mugs like this. I'm gonna bring them up to the camera. You guys pick for me what you think he should hold. So this is what I have. I have a little coffee mug of cocoa and whipped cream. Let me just kind of put it here in my hand. You guys see that? He can hold that. I do have these I purchased off of an Etsy shop, these little Starbucks cups. They're like little doll accessories. And he can have a little wreath. Oops, sorry. These are from the craft store, Hobby Lobby, I believe, yeah. And so, which one do you think? Hot cocoa or a wreath? I've already done a coffee mug gnome before, so I'm kind of thinking one of the Christmas options. What do you guys think? Hot cocoa or a wreath? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna go ahead and see what this hot cocoa looks like. I think that would be cute in his hands. And you could sit this little guy in the coffee table. And let's see, Miss Daisy says wreath, Kathy says hot cocoa. I kind of like the wreath idea because it's a little bit bigger. These are like little ornaments, okay? They have a cute little bow. I'm gonna cut the little ornament string off, and I think I'm gonna go with the wreath just because it's bigger in this scenario, and I kind of, for this gnome, I kind of want something to be a little bit bigger that he's holding. So you just attach the hand to one side of your object, your wreath. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here, give it a little glue dot and attach the wreath to that hand. Kind of gotta hold it, guys, so he doesn't lose it. And then this is where you kind of shape your arms to lift, right? Actually hold it up. And it's kind of hard with a pipe cleaner in there, though. You can do it. It's just kind of, you know, you gotta work with it a little bit just to kind of get it to hold how you want. But we have one more thing we're gonna do to this guy, which is gonna help. So there he is, holding his sweet little wreath. Got his little pom hat. Loving that. Look how cute he is. Okay, so that's the next thing you could do. The last thing we're gonna do, or that I wanna share with you guys, is you can give him some feet. Now, I have made some gnomes before. I've shared some in my Instagram stories where I've actually like sewn skinny strips of fabric like I did with the arms here with hot glue. And you can totally do that too. And I've even made little boots for them. There's a couple makers on Instagram that make the cutest gnomes with long legs and boots and long arms holding things. They're super adorable. She sells them for a high price too, one of the ones I'm thinking of. And she sells out every time, which is super cute. And then there's a couple of other gnome makers out there that do lots of boots. And she specifically teaches you how to make your boots that they sit on. And when I was shopping for all my Christmas decorations, I came across some ornaments, and I know you guys have seen them, in several stores that are boots. And so I purchased, let's see, 5 pairs of boots for making a gnome, okay? So the first one are these, I think they are from Big Lots. They might be from Dollar General. They are ornaments. There's 3 to a count. So I obviously bought 2, okay? And they're boots. And you would obviously need to use 2. So I bought 2 packs thinking I could make 3 gnomes. So that's 6. These I saw at Walmart in the ornament section. These are some big boots. They look very I don't know, rustic. They have this like brown looking edge to them, which I kind of don't like that, but I love the fur on these. Super cute. I think if I were to use these ones, I would paint that black like a boot would be black with the fur. I just don't like that. I don't know what that's supposed to represent. It looks just really odd to me. And then my favorite pair, which may or may not kind of go with our gnome that we have today, this looks like it also came from Walmart, are these super adorable ornament boots that have this like kind of Scandinavian Christmas print sweater thing going on. But look guys, they have the fur, it has pom-poms on the boots, super adorable. They're already glued together, which is what you want for your gnome, which is what you would do with any of your other ones. So I'm going to go with this pair. I've been dying to use this pair. And I'm just going to cut off the ornament tag, the string, all of that, and I'm going to put another dab of glue just to secure these boots even more together because they're glued like at the top, but they kind of talk at the bottom. So I just want to make sure that they don't talk at the bottom. Actually, it looks like there's glue already here, so maybe they weren't supposed to talk, but nonetheless, I'm putting them back together. So now I have like this boot stand, right, for my gnomey guy. And all we're going to do is rest him up on here. And this is where I say it matters having that base of rice because you want it to blend in where his butt kind of like meets the top of his boots, right? So when you look at it from behind, it doesn't look like he's sitting on something. It looks like, you know, he's got a dumpy butt. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's true. Like, you want him to like kind of fill out, you know what I mean? You kind of want him to on top of the boots. So the best way I can tell you to do that is push him towards the back a little bit so it looks like, you know, it's coming up. The boots are coming up high. You guys didn't know you were gonna get entertained, did you? All right, so I'm just gauging like where he sits for that, and I'm going to cover the top of my boots rather quickly here with my glue of where that's going to occur, and then I'm going to go ahead and rest him into that glue and just kind of shape him into my boots here. Oh, that's hot. I just touched it. Burnt my hand. Wouldn't be the first time. And then kind of just, you know, play with him being situated on this little thing. And I think this little guy is done. Like, I don't think he could get any better. You could obviously keep him as most basic as you want to, or you could just keep going and add all the cute fun and flair like I did tonight. This, again, is totally up to you, how decorated or not decorated you want to make him. I got a little glue in his beard, guys. Gonna have to get a hair trim on that. Okay, so here he is. Look how cute this little Christmas gnome turned out to be. Okay, let me get up close. I wish I had like a tray I could put him on to show you. I have one in my house I'm thinking of, but it's got something on it. all the way in the other room. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna hold it by the boots, and I'm gonna bring them up close to my camera here, so you guys can kind of see how just instantly the little boots make this guy. Look how cute. Let me turn him all around. You can kind of see how he does kind of, this little angle, I do think he looks like he's kind of sitting on the boots, you know, so you kind of have to be careful like how you make his butt look, you know. But from the front, doesn't he look like he just kind of like walked up to you, you know, like, hey, got my little wreath. Here's the other side. So you can kind of see. Now you could totally like add clothing to cover this. And then here's the back, like where I was talking about, where it looks like the boots come up to his butt. Obviously this is the back. You're not gonna see it. Like I have a little hole here with all that stuff. But from the front, this is so adorable. What do you guys think? Do you love this little guy? Isn't he adorable? So, okay, let's total up what I have in it. So like originally with just the socks, I'm gonna hold them up here while I talk because that's cuter than me. The socks, like I said, you can get those from the Dollar Tree. You can even find cute little ones like this from the Dollar Tree this time of year. It's just hit or miss like what you find, but I know I have found some cute ones. I just was at Walmart last night and I could not pass them up, so I grabbed it. So $2, okay, and you have enough to make 2 gnomes if you have socks like that, or if you go to Walmart, you're gonna spend, you know, like $4 or $5 for the socks. And then these little guys, like they were a package of them for $3, but at Hobby Lobby, there's always a coupon. And so you get a ton that you can use for other crafts. So there's maybe not even, in this accessory, not even $1. So, and then same thing with like the beard. You can find like packages of it, or you get like a half a yard fairly inexpensively. And same thing with the noses. That's a Hobby Lobby package there. You could even use pom-poms. The boot ornaments, I did see some of these at Walmart last night. So I believe that they're still out there, but so maybe $10, guys, to make this. Maybe $10. And I'm not even kidding. I am not even kidding when I tell you that people are selling their DIY gnomes like this, hot glued, not sewn, for like $24 and up, $30. I've even seen them as high as like $40 and $50. And let's measure this guy, just so you know. The fur, I think I saw a question for the fur. The fur is from, I believe Joann's is where I bought my fur originally. And I just had the fur for making gnomes all the while this long. So, I know it wasn't like less than 10, it was probably like, you can buy packs of fur for like $4 or $5. And it's like, you know, and it's like this. Let me show you the white right here. It's like just a section of fur for like the $4 or $5. And you see it's like, you know, a sheet of paper size, 8.5 by 11 for, you know, $5. Okay, or you can get it like off of the bolt and then that's a different price. But here, let's measure. This guy is, this is my little ruler. So this side over here is 12 inches. So the top of his hat is just right at the 12 inches, okay? Just to give you guys an idea. These are pretty large. I know people that sell them, like I said, smaller for like that $24, $30 range. And this one, you see, we have like less than 10 in it, maybe 10, depending on where you buy your stuff or if you had a coupon or something like that. But how adorable. Do you love him? I love him. He's so cute. I'm definitely gonna have to make more. And I will position him somewhere in the house, maybe in the coffee bar, maybe my front door area, and take a picture and show you guys where he is on display. But that's all I have for today. So I will catch you later. Know what I'm saying? No? See what I did there? I know, I'm not that funny. I should not be a comedian. Anyways, you guys, thanks for joining in with me. I am glad if you stayed the whole time. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Stay safe, and I will see you guys hopefully again tomorrow night. We have some fun decal crafts we're gonna make with the kitchen and stuff like that, some accessories. So I will see you all then. Bye-bye.